everybody, it's Eric from epautos.com, your Libertarian car guy, and I'm not in Scotland. I'm here in the highlands of Southwest Virginia where I live, and hence the fog. Anyway, I'm driving along here in a new Beetle Dune, or Dune Beetle. It's a new special edition the Volkswagen has put out. The coupe came out in 2016, early 2016, and the convertible, which this is, comes out this fall. This model differs from the standard Volkswagen Beetle in riding about a half-inch higher. It's got a slightly wider track. It's got a little bit of a different front and rear clip. And it's got some special paint and trim details too, including this kind of cool, I forgot what they call it, something burnt yellow. I can't remember, it's too early and I haven't had my coffee. But anyway, this rant is not so much about this Beetle as it is about Volkswagen. It's a follow-up to the article that I posted about last week's announcement regarding the settlement that Volkswagen has agreed to with owners of the, air quotes, affected TDI diesel models. I have had some people ask me whether they should accept the buyback offer and my thoughts about that. So here with my thoughts. First of all, my understanding is that you're not required to accept the buyback. You can if you wish to, but you're not yet required to. You're also not yet required to submit the vehicle to be fixed, air quotes, whatever that means, whether it means fitting the car with a DEF system and urea injection or just a software reprogram. My understanding is that that's not yet required. So on the one hand, you probably could continue to drive your car, no worries. There's nothing functionally wrong with the vehicles that are affected by all of this, with a couple of caveats and exceptions. And the first one, of course, is depreciation. The scandal has really given Volkswagen a black eye, and it's not just the TDI models that are affected, it's Volkswagens generally. You can expect the value of your car to go down, and probably it'll continue to go down because the scandal is not going to go away. It's going to go on for several years, and I think that Volkswagen's brand is going to be maybe not permanently, but long-term damaged by this. However, a lot of you people are probably like me as far as diesels go, and you buy the thing with the idea that you're going to own it for, I don't know, 10, 15 years and probably drive the wheels off of it, in which case depreciation really isn't much of a concern because you bought the car to use it. And if you were to accept the buyback offer and turn your car in, yeah, you might get an amount of money that's equivalent to what you paid to buy the car, but given that there are no diesel vehicles available anymore in this country except for expensive BMWs and Mercedes and cars of that type, you can't buy anything that's equivalent to your TDI diesel. So you could take the money and you could buy a gas engine car that's not going to give you anywhere near the mileage that the diesel was capable of. So take that into consideration. I guess the big issue potentially is the emissions issue. Here's the thing, if you live in a county that has an annual emissions test requirement, it's possible that the county may not issue you your registration or renew your registration unless the car is fixed or becomes emissions compliant. And as you probably already know, if you haven't got the sticker, you can't legally drive the car. And that's a real potential problem. There are end runs. Like, for example, in my area, I live in Southwest Virginia, and here we do not have regular emissions test requirements, so it's not required, which means that, let's say I owned a diesel Volkswagen. At the moment, I could just continue to drive it. It's no issue, because renewing registration does not involve having to pass an emissions test. But that could change, and that's something to be aware of. As far as I know, every single time there has been an emissions-related issue, the government usually steps in pretty heavily and insists that the cars be fixed or adjusted or whatever they call it. And I suspect that's probably going to be the case here. So those are all the variables that I'm aware of right now, and it's stuff that you're going to have to think about if you own one of these cars. It's such a stupid shame that this has happened. I hate to see it happen to Volkswagen. I hate to see the effect that it's having on diesel cars generally. Anyway, I'm going to have an article on the site shortly, probably later today, that'll get into this in some greater depth. Hope you'll stop by and read it, and thanks for viewing, and we will catch up with you next time.